Hello, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, then welcome. My name is Jalise. Today we're going to do 15 minutes of gentle yoga focused on tight hips. So if that's something you struggle with, this is the perfect video for you. Let's get started. Today we're starting at the back of the mat in mountain. Spread your toes wide. Press all four corners of the feet into the mat. Standing nice and tall and closing down the eyes. We're just going to take a few breaths here, settling into the practice onto your mat. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Wherever you are on your next inhale, we're slowly floating the eyes open and hands up to the sky. Hands come together, we're exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, we're walking the hands to the top of the mat. Big inhale here. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm going to take one breath here. Just pedaling the legs out. On your next inhale, we're rippling forward into a plank. And exhale, chaturanga. So you can go straight down to the mat, or you can knees, chest, chin, whatever works for you. Coming down, inhale up into cobra, and exhale down. Inhale back up into your plank, and we're coming back into our downward facing dog. From here, we're inhaling the right leg up to the sky, bending at the knee and opening the hips. Just find some circles here. Nice and easy. And switch directions. Very good. On your next exhale, we're aligning the hips, straightening the leg, and coming back into our downward facing dog. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, we're bringing that left leg up to the sky. Whenever you're ready, bending at the knee and opening the hips. And find your circles. As much as you can, try to keep your chest square towards the mat. So if you feel you're twisting a lot in the upper body, just see if you can bring that chest back into alignment. And switching directions with your circle. Continue to breathe. On your next exhale, bringing the hips back into alignment, and we're straightening out that left leg on the mat. Take a breath. And on the exhale, we're coming down to all fours. From here, we're going to work our way back into a malasana squat. So typically here, your hips are off of the mat. If you need to sit back on your glutes or sit on your blanket or a block, feel free to do that. We're here in our squat. If you want a bit more of a stretch, try to walk the feet closer to the outsides of the mat, toes pointed out, heels in, hands come into prayer. On the exhale, we're pressing the elbows inside of the knees. Nice tall spine. This pose is great for opening the hips and also really good for strengthening of ankles. If you like, you can play around, rocking side to side if your body is craving a little more movement today. Drop those shoulders down from the ears and breathe. On your next exhale, finding stillness if you're not already there. Those hands come back to the mat. We're just walking the hands forward, coming out of our squat. From here, we're going to work our way all the way down to the mat. From here, we're bringing the left side of the head down on top of the hands. And on your next inhale, we're bending that right knee up to a 90-degree angle and half frog. When you're there, get comfortable and continue to breathe. Right on your next exhale, we're slowly drawing that right leg down and switching over to the left. So first we're going to bring the right side of the head down to the hands. And on your next inhale, we're bringing that left knee up to a 90-degree angle. And on your next exhale, let's go ahead and bring that left leg back into alignment. We're bringing both hands to frame the chest, inhaling up into all fours, and we're just pressing back for a short child's pose. So big toes come to touch behind you, knees are wide on the mat. On your exhale, working your hips back towards your heels, stretching the arms to the top of the mat, and whenever you're ready, just resting your forehead down onto your mat. Again, play around with some movement if your body needs that today. Next inhale, we're slowly coming back up onto all fours and working our way down to a seated position and then laying down on the mat. Right, take your time getting there. There's no rush. When you're ready, go ahead and bring those feet wide to the edges of the mat. And we are laying the knees to the right side. On the next inhale, we're coming back up to center, and then knees go to the left. We're inhaling up and exhaling right. Inhale and left. Just doing a few more of these. And wherever you are in your next inhale, knees come back up to center. We're bringing those feet back into about hip distance apart. From here, right leg comes up off of the mat. We are crossing that ankle over the left knee. If this is good for you, feel free to stay here. If you want a bit of a deeper stretch, go ahead and bring that left leg up off the mat, grabbing behind the left thigh or grabbing a hold of the shin. With every exhale, inviting more space into your body and seeing if you can deepen your stretch just a little bit more. Good. On the next inhale, left foot comes back to the mat, and we're just switching sides. Right, left ankle comes over the knee, and inhale. Bring that right leg off the ground, grabbing a hold of whatever is good for you today. On your next exhale, allow that right foot to come back to the mat. We are bringing the left foot down as well. From here, we're bringing those feet up off the ground, coming into happy baby. So you can grab onto the outsides of the feet. You can use your peace fingers to grab onto your big toe. Just find what works for you. And on your exhale, allowing the knees to drop to either sides of your chest, closer and closer to the ground. Again, if your body is looking for some movement, feel free to rock it from side to side, maybe alternating movements in your legs. On the next exhale, we're going to play around with stretching those legs out, maybe one at a time, or maybe both at the same time, whatever works for you. On the next exhale, bottoms of the feet come to touch, and we are levering those feet down to the ground. This is our reclined butterfly here. So if this is a little bit much for you as a hip opener, feel free to bring a pillow or blanket up under the knees to support. Or you can just stretch your feet towards the top of the mat just a little bit more. Whatever works for you. And continue to breathe. On your next inhale, we're using the hands to slowly help those knees back up together. We're just going to wiggle them side to side. And coming into our final pose, stretching our legs out on the mat. Arms come down to the mat as well. We're resting in Savasana to close out our practice. Just taking this time to check in with your body. Notice how you feel now versus when you started the practice. And allowing your body to integrate in the movements that just took place. If you need a bit more time in your resting pose, feel free to pause the video here. Otherwise, we're bringing some movement back into our bodies, wiggling the fingers and the toes, maybe rocking the head from side to side. And whenever you're ready, drawing the knees one at a time in towards the heart, giving ourselves a big hug, thanking your body for what it allowed you to do today, what it allows you to do every single day, telling your body, I love you, you are beautiful, and you're perfect just the way you are. One more big squeeze. And from here, allowing the knees to drop over to the right, using your arm as a pillow, and slowly working your way back up to a seated position. Allowing the eyes to remain closed as we close out our practice. Whenever you're ready, we're inhaling those hands up to the sky in prayer. Exhale, thumbs come down to the forehead. And feel free to repeat after me. On this day, may I keep kind thoughts of myself and of others. I am at peace in my mind. Thumbs come down to the lips. On this day, may I speak words of life, words of love, and truth unto myself and others. And thumbs come down to the heart center. On this day, my heart is open to giving and receiving love. Thumbs come back to the forehead as we bow. Namaste. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you in your practice today. Hopefully this helped you release some tension in your hips and you feel a little more open and a little bit more relaxed. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see in the future, what you thought about this one, how your body feels after this, and I'll see you next time.